Hi guys, welcome back to Making It with Dee. I'm Dee, and in today's video I've got a few things to share with you that I have been making over the last couple of weeks since I last uploaded a video. First and foremost, I would like to say thank you to the 200 subscribers that I now have. I feel like it's something to celebrate. I appreciate you all. I thank you for watching my videos and for subscribing to my channel. Let's hope that the channel grows swiftly from here on out. Let's start with what am I wearing. I am wearing a blouse that I had made from a McCall's pattern. I'll put the details in the description below. And it's one of my kind of cool summer blouses, as it is summer here in New Zealand. We've been experiencing some really lovely weather, and so I've been able to wear a lot of the things that I've made, and I particularly had fun this last week with all of my trying out, you know, different outfits, but mostly looking at things that I made. So I was able to wear something me made every day this past week to work, and that's quite an achievement. I am quite pleased with that. I wore my linen skirt that I made, the navy one. I wore it with a different white blouse, and then I wore the linen top on another day, and I wore a couple of other blouses and things that I'd made. So today I'm wearing this blouse that I made, and I'm also wearing a me-made skirt, which is one that doesn't come with a pattern. I had cut this as a 3-tier skirt, and it's quite long. I can insert a picture of the skirt from one of my previous videos where I already discussed how I made the skirt. So let's move on now to my finished objects. So I have a couple of finished objects, and I'm really stoked about them because it was a long time coming, and so I'll start with the sewing because that seems to be just where I start in any case. So today I finished this dress. And I will insert a little clip in here of me wearing the dress. And so this dress is made with the assembly line pattern, and it's the pattern for the hoodie dress. And you can kind of modify the pattern. So this is the pattern that I used by the assembly line. You can modify the pattern and you can make it without the hood. I have made a winter dress with the hood in a baby corduroy, like a floral baby corduroy material, and I love it, but it's not winter now, so I decided to make the dress without the hood for summer. And I did use the cuffs for the sleeves, but I didn't put the cuff elastic band cuff down the bottom of the hem. I just chose to hem it normally. I did cut a cuffed hem, but I decided in the end not to attach it. It was very finicky with the elastic band, and all the cuffs was a little bit of a nightmare. But the blessing in this dress is that it doesn't have a zipper. And so I didn't have to, you know, go into it feeling really nervous. So because I already made this dress before I knew how it went, and it was quite straightforward. So the dress has pockets, and I decided to use a different material for the sleeves and the pockets, just to add because I think this fabric, or the patterns on this material, is just would have been a bit much to have all over, and I quite like pink, the tone of this pink against my own skin tone. And so I thought I would highlight one of the colors in the dress with a different kind of color fabric, so I did that. And also this is a mesh material, so it's it's transparent and it's light and breezy, so it can give me some, you know, summer vibes, even though it is a dark colored dress. So that's what I opted for, and that's why I did the dress, and I like it. You could, you know, do the stitching, the top stitching. I did it in a different, in the pink colored cotton. You can't really see it because the fabric is so busy, but I can see it from where I'm looking at it now, so it's pleasing to the eye. And so that was my sewing make, my finished object, and I plan to make some more things, but I haven't cut anything new yet. I don't have any definite plans for sewing. I think my goal is to finish my knitting. So the finished object for knitting, I'm really happy about that, is my wrap cardi, and this is the pattern by Wool and the Gang, and it's a free pattern. It's available online for free, and I will insert what it's supposed to, what the pattern is. Just a single color, single tone, pink colorway, or a plain one color. Oh my goodness, I'm losing my words. Yeah, I'll show the picture and you can see. Picture says 1,000 words. But the wool that I had bought from Spotlight, and it is a self-striping wool, and of course I had several skeins, and it was tricky to manage the stripes because this pattern is knit flat. You knit the sides first and then the back, and then you knit the sleeves separate. So I tried to start, because it starts with the ribbing at the bottom and it's knit bottom up, so it starts with the ribbing at the bottom, and I tried to keep, you know, the ribbing kind of uniform. So I tried to start with the skein that had cream as its first color in order to keep the ribbing kind of the same. And I used different skeins. I had to use the different skeins that started with the cream to try and manage some parts of it. As you can see, the sides and the back started in cream, which is beautiful, and I love that. And then I tried to do I knit the sleeves together at the same time with different skeins, or 2 different skeins, and again I tried to do the management of the color striping with the skeins, and that's it kind of turned out really nice. I'm just smelling it. So I did block it, and it did stretch a little bit. I don't know what composition this yarn is. I assume that it's acrylic mixed with something else, because I bought it at Spotlight in the little packs that they do. They say it's mixed blends, and they don't tell you which blended with what. So I just took that because I had a whole heap of these this color, and I thought it would be really nice to have something colorful, and I really enjoy it. I have to say, it's not yet the kind of weather. So I didn't talk about the pattern. The stitch pattern is a chevron lace, which makes it kind of a nice transition piece between summer and autumn, and I like that it's I like the lace that it's got, you know, breathing space in it, so it's nice for a cool evening, but also our summers don't last very long in New Zealand, and so the cooler weather will start coming up, and then it'll be really nice to have this already done. So that's my finished objects, and it's done. I'm really happy to have that off my needles now, and so I want to talk about my whips. whoops. So the first one that I want to show my progress on is my daisy cardigan, which is knitted with Moda Vera daisy wool, which has mohair and other, I'll tell you, hang on a second. We have got 41% acrylic, 18% nylon, 12% mohair, 23% glitter, and 6% superwash wool. So this is going to be it's a long cardigan, long line cardigan, but can you see the glitter? Sparkly. I kind of like it. I think it's really, it looks really grey in the daylight, and I guess the mohair kind of puts that little haze over the top of it. But when I was knitting one night, I thought, oh, this is going to look really nice when it's finished. And so I have passed now there's no shaping in the back, so this is the back, there's no shaping in it. This is where the armhole starts, so I put a little marker in there, and so I just need to knit a few more, maybe 10 or so more rows before I cast off the back and start on the fronts. So this hasn't received much love from me this past 2 weeks. I think the last time I talked about it, it was already up to the point where I had to mark the sleeves. So I've only really done that much work on it because I was determined to cast on the shawl. But let's not talk about the shawl just yet. I want to talk about my other whip, which is my little tee that I want to show. Oops. So proud of my little cakes. So I'm knitting the patterns out of this book. So the glitter cardi is also in here, and so is this tee that I'm going to show you now. It's called the Shadow Short Sleeve Top, and I guess the shadow is the wool, is the name of the wool, I'm sure. Moda Vera Shadow, yeah, I was right. And it looks like it's a self-striping as well. I don't have this wool, and I have just got a different cotton wool that I've got, a cotton blend with nylon. So it's mostly cotton and mixed with nylon. And so I have so far done the back. This is knitted bottom up and flat up until the point where you get to the yoke. So I've only done, so far I've got the one back bit done up until where you kind of start for the sleeves decreases. And actually it was my first time doing short rows, so that was fun. I love that I learned how to do it, and so that I know that when I get to more complicated patterns, I won't be afraid of the word short rows. Because when I used to look at a pattern that had short rows in it, I was like, nah, too hard, not going to do that. Nope, can't do that pattern. But I persisted with this one, and you know, YouTube is fantastic in teaching you. I've started on the front, and I've only done this much work. So I still have so many more stockinette stitch rows to knit in order to get to a 31 centimeter length before I do the short rows for that part. And then you do the sleeves, and then you join all the pieces in the round to create the yoke, is my understanding of how this pattern works. And so I have only got this plain color here. I do have other cotton, which is a bright pink color, and I'm not sure if I want to add it in the yoke maybe just a stripe in the yoke. I'm not sure if I want to do that. I'm contemplating, so when I get to it I will make that call, and I'm hoping to finish it fairly shortly. I don't like to have things on my needles for too long because I get bored with the project if it takes too long. So that's my shadow short sleeve top. And now I will go to the thing that I am most excited about and couldn't wait to get started on, because one of my goals for 2024 was to extend my skills, right? So I have had in my head the plan that I was going to knit a shawl, and I was going to do some color work, and I thought what better way to do it and to try mosaic, because I have done some stranded color work before, and I will make a video of all my color work that I've done in the future, and I'll showcase my color work so far. But I haven't really tried mosaic color work, so I thought it'd be really nice. I started on a crochet blanket in mosaic pattern, but I wanted to do mosaic knitting, so I was going to do the pressed flowers shawl. And so I have this wool, this very rustic wool that I got given, and I thought, you know what, it's rustic, it's quite scratchy, it's I don't know what the composition of it is, because I'm not really my expertise doesn't extend to that level just yet. I am learning as we go. But anyway, I was going to use this wool because I thought I travel a lot for work, and I thought I'll make a shawl so it can be like a blanket, a sanctioned blanket. And this type of yarn that I'm working with, the fiber that I'm working with, is quite scratchy, and it will be okay if it's over the top of my clothing, so like a sanctioned blanket, which is good. So I purchased the pattern for the pressed flowers shawl, and it was my first time working with mosaic knitting. And then I realized that I was going to need a cable long enough, 150 centimeters, which I didn't have, and so I went to the yarn shop local to my work. The place is called Get Flocked. So funny, because I watch Young Folk Knits, and Casey was talking about a pressed flowers knit along that they were hosting, that she was hosting along with somebody else, and that you could choose any of Amy Christophas's pressed flowers patterns, shawl, cardi, I think vest, hat, or whatever. And so I thought I'll do not to join the knit along, because I didn't like, my experience level is not knit along worthy just yet. So I thought I'll just, out of interest, I was really interested because I liked the look of the shawl. So I went to buy myself a cable, and I got the this Knit Pro. This is the needles, and so I got the cable as well, the Knit Pro cable from the Mindful collection. And so funny thing was, when I got to Get Flocked, and I only knew that I needed a long cable. Anyway, $10 I paid for the cable, and then of course I had to buy the interchangeable needles as well. And I didn't remember what size I needed to get for the shawl, so she asked me, do you know what pattern are you going to do, and do you know what it's called? Maybe we can look it up. And as she came to the counter, she was carrying with her a pressed flowers shawl, exactly the same one that I wanted to make. I was like, no way. Turns out that the store was also hosting a pressed flowers knit along. Funny, right? Anyway, so she knew, and so she sold me this ebony interchangeable needles, also by Knit Pro. And so I started the pattern, and I got one I've got one repeat. I finished one kind of segment of it, and I'm using my my rough as guts yarn, which I caked, and they cake so beautifully, don't they? Anyway, so here is my cables. I said to her, let's just go with luxury, because I want to experience how to knit with beautiful cables and knitting needles as well. So this is the progress I've made so far on my pressed flower shawl. You can see how stiff this is, but when I block it, it'll soften. I know it because I knitted a jumper with the same yarn before, and it really softened, but it was still a little bit scratchy. So here's what it looks like. Can you see my flowers? I particularly like this color palette, you know, because it's very autumn and neutral and will kind of go with everything as a throw over blanket, you know. So I am really excited. I finished one, like I said, one of the patterns repeats, which is about 50 some odd rows, and so now I get to do this repeat. So, battery died, right, and so I have about 4 of these repeats to go, I think, before I can call this a finished project. But I love it so far. I'm really excited about getting this. So this has had pride of place with me. I really tried to get some progress on the shawl, even though this is probably not a priority, because it's not yet kind of blanket weather or shawl weather. But in any case, I'm glad I made this much progress on it, because I really wanted to see what it looks like, what the pressed flowers looks like, and can I do it? And I did it. So I'm really happy with that progress, proud of myself. And so yeah, so that is pretty much covers my acquisitions and my whips, and I covered my finished objects. And so I'm not going to extend this video any longer than it needs to be. I hope that you enjoyed the content so far, and if you did, would you mind subscribing to my channel and also giving me a like, also share a comment. What particularly did you like about the video? Would you be interested in seeing a week in my me-made wardrobe, how I styled my me-made clothing? I don't know, I think that might be a fun video to film. I'm interested in finding out whether you think that would be worthwhile doing, whether that would be some kind of content that you'd like to see. And so without further ado, I'm gonna let you all go, and I hope you enjoyed the video, and thank you for watching, and thank you to my subscribers. Please keep on subscribing. Share my videos, like the video, comment down below, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.